All right. So just kind of look at some things that we did this past year. We're proud to work. One of the things that many of you don't know, um, I try to go out and raise a lot of money for our program. I try as much as possible to try to get things for free to each and every program. When I took over the athletic department, I think we had a budget around maybe $35,000. Now our budget exceeds over $100,000 a year in terms of what we have to do. But here's the thing: I don't get a budget. Basically, the only I say per se guaranteed income that I receive is off of gates from our fall and our winter sports, and that's pretty much what we do in order to maintain all of our sports. And it's a challenge where some people call me the mayor, but I'm smiling, I'm shaking hands, I'm finding out people, I'm doing certain things, and trying to various. Our golf tournament is something that I do every year, and I want to be able to allow you all to help and assist where you can with that, because that proceeds goes back to every one of our programs, and so it allows you to be able to do a lot of things that you guys do, and so. And I don't ever really want to tell you no, really don't. I don't ever want to have that opportunity, but if I don't have, I don't have it. But if I do, I'll try to provide you with that. So we added Scordo TV channel and was able to do some great things with that. One of the things that the band hosted their winter concert, man, and it was a hit. And we had a great time and expecting some great things even this year. But in our 50 famous that we did also, and then we record all of our graduations as well as our sporting events. So it's an opportunity for people to go and see what we're going on. Like I say, softball, Phillips 66 reached out to us and donated a nice sizable donation. Miss Reese, she is our new volleyball coach. And you'll see her around here. She's an amazing lady. She's basically has transformed it to where now the girls are going to have volleyball in the morning before school starts. And so she's revamped the girls' visit locker room in the basketball gym, and so she's pushing it hard, and she's guaranteeing us a championship in a couple of years. So yeah, so we're excited about that. 6th consecutive year in football, middle school co-champs with the GMAC conference. High school basketball, 3A state champs. And triple was good too. And here's our expenditures, donations and gates and other revenue that we received. And then projected budget this year is $75,000, which I've already exceeded that even before I even get a chance to put this together. Purchasing uniforms, we're switching to Nike this year. I signed the contract 2 weeks ago, and so we are leaving Under Armour. And we're going to Nike. Purchasing uniforms for both football and then boys basketball program, that's a lot of money. So already I can tell you just for those two purchases alone will probably well over $35,000 just to be able to outfit those programs. So that's where, grants go into the Wes Welker Foundation, going to J.J. Watts, and doing various things like that. Cleats for Kids. Cleats for Kids came in good this weekend for Batson, in his camp and everything. So, those are people who've been clutch, and they always kind of step up for us. And so we'll do those things. Esports added. We now have esports. Miss Kat will be our coach for that program. We're targeting high school students. And the high school students were only students who are not currently participating in anything. So we're targeting the kids who have poor attendance and whose grades are bad. That's what we're trying to focus on. Right now, our biggest issue in our district is targets. That is the major factor that we have. So we're trying to help to combat that, as well as attendance, which will help to improve our graduation rate, as well as to continue to improve our performance overall for our students to be better when they try to transition to the next level. So just trying to dangle some caveats in that area because, you know, Coach Batson, you can probably be one of the primary when you have to punish a kid and they be like, oh well, it don't mean nothing to them because they don't have any incentive to want to be able to do better. So we want to try to help to encourage that. And then I want to increase our participation numbers by 5%. Now I need to put an asterisk by that because there's one organization that I do not want to increase, but everybody else I'm going to want a 5%. I shared those numbers with you. So, and then a new softball field, which they were supposed to already started, so they already just cleaned up the old one so we can have a practice place. But then they'll eventually, hopefully, have it back ready for me by the fall of next year. Scheduling of sports, we understand that. Be sure we keep our schedules in there, GMAC, making sure that our practices and workouts, if you don't have that out, make sure that you have it and make sure that you input all of your schedules for your practices. All of the games are already put in there, but any type of schedule that goes on, we need to have it in there. And the reason for that is because we've been having some issues with our stuff being stolen. I mean, so I don't know if you had a chance to notice, but we've got another black gate that's going up right in the front, right by the Arts Academy. Somebody stole our gate, okay? And they just literally, you can see them on video. They took the gate, put it on top of their car, and took it. Stole the gate. Yeah, stole the gate. We have a lot of activity on the weekend up here. My bus barn has been broken in probably 15 times. Okay. Well, the summer, just probably the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So what we did for the summer, we hired an overnight security officer. And so basically he would patrol through the night so that we could be able to try to combat what's going on there. Doors being left open, people rummaging through our stuff. We've gotten batteries stole, we've gotten sprinklers, lawnmowers, various things have been stolen. And so we spend majority of the time on this campus than anybody else. Can y'all say that? We do. So we have to become the eyes and the ears of this campus. So if you're up here on the weekend, or you're here late, and you see something that doesn't look, or you assume somebody knows, don't assume. And the first place you start is open that app. If you open that app and say, okay, there's somebody on track. Oh, cool, somebody's written that from 6 to 8. Cool, I ain't got to worry about doing that. But if it ain't on that app,
what's the app?
Our school, it's called Activity Schedule. And so if it's not on that app, then that means that there's somebody being there who don't need to be there. And so that's when you just need to ask questions of what's going on. And if it's something suspicious, call Tony, our officer, but we're going to hire somebody from 3 to 8 to be here in the evening as well. And so once we get their information set up, I'll make sure everybody has that so that you can be able to communicate. I'm not trying to tell you to go out and fight somebody or nothing, but just keep your eyes and your ears open so we can take stuff. Because every time that happens, that takes money away from other stuff we can do for our kids. And so that's just kind of, it's an insane issue that we're dealing with. So make sure stuff is secure and alarms are set. If you don't have a code for something, make sure Ms. Long knows so she can get you a code so that you can be able to get in and out of places and make sure we lock it back up. In the facilities, you must make sure it's clean. Keep your eyes open there. Doors and alarms are set. So facilities rentals. If you have somebody that's looking at wanting to rent a facility, we have what we call an NPS facility rentals request on our athletic website. And so when somebody says, hey, coach, we want to rent such and such, just send them there. And then let them request them there, and Ms. Bro will take it from there. Okay? You don't have to worry about getting into prices and all that stuff. Just send them directly there. Now, if there's somebody that you know that's wanting to rent it, because then we'll say, hey, like if somebody wants to rent a gym and they say, well, Coach Jones, so this what he do. So, okay, well, Coach Jones, do you mind being the person that's going to facilitate him and over it? And that's fine. All right, and whatever monies from that goes to your program. Okay. Same thing with Palmore, with Batson. You rent the baseball field. Okay. You'll be the person contact. That money will go into your account, where you can be able to utilize that for various things. Okay.
Like a reference.
Yes. Yes. So once agreement has been reached between the coach and the renter, the coach is responsible for contacting Ms. Bro with the follow-up information so she can secure the rental. You know, a lot of times, just because they ask, we had a situation where a person started posting something online and they hadn't even finished completing everything. And so it must be completed. And if, like I said, if it's not on that activity scheduler, then it has not gone through the process. So if somebody calls you, hey, Coach Jones, man, can you let us in the gym because we're supposed to get started. We want to get set up. Hold up. Oh, you're not on here. I don't see you having it, so I can't do that. You know, so that'll keep down of trying to call somebody to find out it's all on that schedule. Everything will be on there, so you won't have to worry about anything on that. Okay, so like I say, in whatever, coach should notify facilities manager Ms. Long to receive necessary items for cleanup for the event. So if you choose to want to clean it up yourself, to save that money to put back into your account, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But we just got to make sure that it's the way it needs to be so that our kids can continue to use those facilities. But if you say, you know what, Coach H, yeah, but I don't want to do it. All right, well, cool. Then guess what? $250 more on top of the price, and we'll just push it towards Miss Long, or we have Mr. Clark, or somebody come in and let them do it. I'm fine with it either way. Okay, I don't have a problem. I mean, I got a rental that I'm doing next week, and I told them I'm not touching nothing. I ain't babysitting nothing. I ain't coming at night to lock up nothing. So I charged them $10,000. So they said they're gonna pay. Fine with me. So I will pay people. I mean, I don't have a problem, but I'm not gonna do all that. I'm just not, you know. So, but like I say, you all are gonna reap the benefits of that $10,000. I mean, it's gonna benefit our program, but you know, just things like that. You know, somebody wants to rent the big gym, and I said it's $3,500 a day. You know, I mean, your time is valuable. Just know that your time is valuable. So trying to rent the gym, $20 an hour because you're trying to help somebody, man, gas is high. Gas is high. You know, unless you got a pump at the house and it's $2.10, then you know, you make your time worth value. Okay. So don't sell yourself short, okay? So some expectations. Read, sign new contract, okay? So we'll sit down, each one-on-one, and go over our contract. One thing we don't have on here is that, and this requires, and this is really for those who coach high school, but middle school coaches are more than welcome to do it. But we are a part of the Regional 8. Does everybody know what the Region 8 is? Okay, so Region 8 is our coaches association. The Region 8 basically meets like 4 times a year. And they meet and they talk about scholarships for our athletes. You know, if there's an athlete that may be struggling in an environment that you're coaching, you can submit their name to that organization, and they will try to vote whether or not they can offer a scholarship to that kid. Coach of the year. I think one year we went all over to Carl Albert one year and tried to get Coach Franklin as Coach of the Year, and they ended up giving it to the Jones coach, David. But you know, those are ways where we can get, you know, because we've got a great program. I mean, trust me, y'all can walk around Millwood on it, somebody will say something to you. I mean, they just do. So people know who we are. But I want to make sure that we get our recognition that you are due and our kids do. Okay? So a part of the Regional 8, they meet like 4 times a year around, I think it's like 7:30 on a Wednesday night. And so basically, you have to attend 2 out of the 4. That's basically what you have to do, 2 out of the 4. And what we'll try to do is, if we know we got somebody that's coming up, I'll send in the band and say, hey guys, I need everybody to go to this one here, so that we can vote and be able to support one of our coaches or one of our players that we want to be able to help them for an opportunity. Okay? Then y'all know all of the NFHS and all that stuff. The care and prevention. Now, if you do the first aid and safety online, that is, they say it's only good for like 2 or 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. It's only good for 3 years, and you have to renew that.
So if you took it 3 years ago, you have to take it again.
Yeah, take it again. Yeah. But only the care and prevention is for a lifetime. Something else that I kind of wanted to share with you all that came out a few years ago. Literally like 2 weeks ago. Now there is a form that our parents will have to sign online, basically claiming that their child is playing with the same sex that they were born with on their birth certificate.
I just had to fill it out for my daughter from playing volleyball.
Okay,
Just
all right.
filled it out 2 days ago. Yep.
Okay, so so it is.
Crazy.
So we do everything online. I've got it set up to where it's just literally a check box that they're going to have it. But they're saying, now it's not an OSSA. This is an actual House bill. I think it's 75 or 705, but this is a bill that your governor decided to sign off on. So basically where transgenders cannot play with female sports. Is basically what it's doing. So just if a parent decides not to check that box, I'm not going to police it. I'm really not. I don't think we've had a situation in the years I've been here. We haven't. And then there's all other things that the OSSA has in place for a person who is a transgender. Certain things that they have to go through before they could even be qualified. But just want to put y'all on notice that if a parent comes up and asks you about it or whatever, that was something we had to do. So make sure, like I say, we have the band app in the season. Google for form for student athletes to transition 1-4. So before fall sports, before a kid can transition to the next sport, basketball, they cannot go to that sport until they've been cleared from the previous sport. Okay, so this is for 2 reasons. First of all, especially when we're dealing with my seniors, I'll have seniors at my door, literally a couple of days before they get ready to graduate, wanting me to sign off on a form. And then the coach comes and tells me, and I got to call the coach, is this person clear? Is this person clear? Is this person clear? Oh, well, no, they still owe me so and so. And now, the only sport that should have a conversation with me is spring sport. That's going to be baseball, track, and soccer. Those should be the only sports because they literally are just getting out. But I should not have to deal with a kid who did not turn in all their stuff on the fall sport, but yet they were able to play a winter sport, or they were able to play a spring sport. So we need to clear that up to where a lot of lost uniforms, a lot of things, that's happened. I've had kids come to me and senior, Coach, I ain't played since I was a freshman, and I gave that to Coach so-and-so, and Coach so-and-so ain't even here no more. And so now we out of our uniform, we don't know if we've been checked in, and then, we end up losing that money too. So be sure that any kid, either if you are receiving or they're coming out of your program, they need to be cleared through that to make sure that they're okay. All right? And like I say, we have the Google transition season form that you can fill out for them, and that way they can be cleared. Okay? Any questions? All right, so hashtag #BeBetter2023. Improve our recruiting skills throughout the school hallways. Increasing our participation by 10%. Okay, so we want to encourage students to, so I want y'all to watch this small little video here.
Phillips 66 presents the Mutual Musicians Foundation. Jazz has just one rule.
I'm here to announce my retirement from sports. Baseball, basketball, all of them. I feel like it's time. The pressure that it takes to play at my age is just too much. So I'm done with the endless advice from parents to keep my head up, to keep my head down, to keep my head in the game. I know you think you helped. I'm walking away from the coaches that left me on the bench every time the game was on the line. I'm sure they'll agree I'm leaving at the peak of my career. I'll miss my friends and the fun we had when we were young. I said I'd play this game as long as I was having fun. And now, it's time to call it quits. Any questions?
Who do you think can fix these issues?
Parents, leagues, coaches, everyone.
What are you going to do with all your free time?
Whatever's fun. Thank you.
So what do y'all think caused all of his issues? Or, no, I'm rephrasing.
Mike, appreciate you sitting down with me. This is really an honor, one, because...
So, what is he missing? Why is he retiring? Not having fun. That's the one thing that we want our kids here to do is to what? Have fun. We can't lose sight of that. We can't lose sight of, I know we have a high expectation of winning. And like I always say, I'll never let a coach go for wins and losses. But I'll let it go if you're not developing and mentoring the kid. That's the only thing that I require you to do, is to make sure that kid is growing, having fun. Softball program 2 years ago, Gary Woods was a coach. They won one game all season long. Their senior night, they're handing out gifts. The girls are crying because they're like, we don't want our season to end. We want to continue to play. That's more than a championship. It's because those girls remember. Matter of fact, they's like, okay, well, we're going to have to play baseball then because we want to. They enjoy coming to practice and losing games. That's basically what the concept, but they were having fun. And so we want to make sure that we continue to make sure it's fun. If it ain't fun, you ain't having fun, then we may need to have an announcement of retirement like the little 9-year-old kid did. So, I'm going to show if this other video will work or not. Let's see if it does. All right, I'll cue it up after the break. So, this one I want to share with you all are participation numbers from last year. Okay? So if you'll notice, you'll look, you had about, totals, you had about 19 baseball, 40 basketball, 50 football, softball we had nobody in high school, 22 volleyball, and band we had 45. So, my challenge is 25% increase. Now here's the thing though. This doesn't go for band. Okay? Alright, let me tell you why. Because band got more than 45. This is just high school students. Okay? They got more than 45. Matter of fact, I'm ready to tell Showtime, stop. You got too many kids. And so they're probably averaging around, what are y'all guys at right now?
High school?
No, total.
Maybe like 70.
70?
Yeah.
So they got 70 kids in their band. Okay? So I ain't got no more room for them right now. So I'm not challenging them to increase. I'm just going to challenge them to maintain. But my reason for that is that if you look season-wise, 23% of our girls participated, 49% boys. Winter sports, total. Here's our student count. We got 296 girls, and only 68 participated in sports. 296 in the wintertime, and only 56 there. Boys, 172, and we only have what? About 85, so we're about almost 50%. But look at these numbers. So, asking for a challenge or saying, hey, I don't have enough, then we got to look at ways to recruit. And I can say that in our school, we can recruit inside our walls. When you got 296 girls and only 68 are participating, something's wrong. And the thing about it is that this course talked about how sports has helped kids more mentally cope with COVID than anything else. We actually have a kid's life in our hands. It's a fork in the road, and we can choose which way they go. Make sense? So look at this by season. So cheerleading goes 2 seasons. Band goes all the way through the fall. Okay? So now, and here's the crazy thing. The 2 sports that I have the most, I won't say challenges, but seems the most stressful is my band and my cheerleaders. You know why? Because y'all with them all year long. Dealing with the cheerleaders and them attitudes, that's a long time. So what does it say? I don't encourage kids to play one sport, if at all possible. I want them to play different sports. For band, it's a challenge, but what I got to do is work with my band directors to give them breaks. You're going to have breaks, because mentally, it's gonna wear you out. And I can't. Not only do I don't want the kids to mentally break down, but I don't want you all to mentally break down. So I got to make sure that you all are putting in ways to help you all sustain what you're doing. Does that make sense? So when I coached track, I used to coach basketball and track. And I literally, by the end of the season, I'd be like, boy, I can't wait to get rid of these kids. And summer's coming. I'm ready. But come August, I'm like, man, I'm already picking out my game stuff. I'm like, I'm ready then. I done had that break to give me that mojo I need to get back into it again. And so if you don't mentally get yourself in a situation, it's going to be a struggle. And you're going to find yourself having an outburst just because it's a challenge. Because those kids will get on your nerves. That's just plain and simple. They're going to get on your nerves. They like to push your buttons. They like to just test you. And we're not just talking about just stuff for just here at school, but what about things at home that you have to deal with? Bills and things like that. Those also compound on you. And when you're trying to wrestle with that, or you're dealing with a kid at home and they doing what they're supposed to, marriage may be going not where it needs to, man, those are things. Sick individuals, you're taking care of your parents. I mean, all that mentally weighs on you. It's a lot, guys. And I get it. So, everybody got a pay increase, if you haven't heard. I've given all the coaches got a pay increase. So now you're getting more money than what you got last year. So And if it's your first year, just act like you surprised, all right? You know, you went from 0 to nothing, all right? So we increase your stipends because we know mentally what you guys are dealing with. And we're trying to do our best to make sure that you don't get it. Thanks, Coach Franklin and his team for working with that. But here's the crazy part. When you look at our numbers, we're not too far off from Oklahoma City. And Oklahoma City has 6A all the way down to 2A. And they pay them all the same. So we're not bad off, but we need to make sure that we try to take care of you the best way we can. Y'all all right? Equipment deadlines. So this is something that we discussed earlier about making sure if there's things that you need for your sport that you're coaching, that these are the deadlines to get it to us, because working with the vendor and trying to make sure that things are available is becoming a challenge every time we turn around. And so the days of us being able to come to my office and say, hey, coach, I need something, and I need it by tomorrow, or I need it next week, or 2 weeks, that just ain't, it's not feasible, and I can't promise that. And so, try to plan ahead of time so that you'll know what you need. And there'll be some things that will slip through the cracks, I get that. But at all possible, let's try to sit down and work out a schedule, see what all you need so that you can be prepared going into the next year. All right. We know kids have to be registered, have physicals on file before they're allowed to practice. Be sure that you stay abreast of this. Every year we have kids that are out there practicing who haven't filled out the necessary paperwork, we don't have no insurance on them. So be sure that you do that, because that's a liability on you and a liability on the school. Okay? So make sure you take care of that. If you receive a physical from a student athlete, please give the form to Ms. Akins or Ms. Bro. Please don't bring it by my office. I'm not a taker of those. Okay. Ms. Mill will no longer take athletic monies. Right? Y'all know who Ms. Mill is? All right. Okay. She will no longer take athletic money. She's transitioning into our personal and payroll person. She'll be taking on a lot of those responsibilities. So to where she don't mix the two up and then she don't miscount and losing money, we've set up a new system to help with that. So all fees will be paid must be turned into our athletic office and a receipt will be given. So you will take your money to Ms. Bro. Ms. Bro will take it. At all possible, try to encourage people to play online if they can. Okay? Please, play online. I got to pay the $2.50. By the time you drive up here, you don't spend more gas you starting the car than you would if you just paid it online. I mean, it's just plain and simple. And then trusting whether or not a kid gave the money to the coach, and it wasn't the coach. I try to, because I was guilty of that, man. I'd be somewhere in practice, and a kid come up and hand me some money, and I'm still coaching, and then I get home that night and be like, where I get this money from? I mean, that's just me. You can do that. All fees and dues must be approved by the board prior to collection from students. That was our next board meeting. So if you are planning on doing any fundraisers, there's a fundraiser sheet that you have to turn in, have to sign off on it, and we have to submit it before the board before you can do any fundraisers. Okay?
It's the second sheet in that packet I gave you.
Coaches must fill out Millwood Public Schools activity fundraiser form request. That's it. So, fees must be paid before first official contest. Okay? So, before that kid, now, depending on the size of the finances that you're all asking for, everything needs to be paid before that first game. So once again, we're not collecting things throughout the year. They're going through different sports. We need to have all that clear. Because what has occurred in the past is that we put fees on a kid, they hadn't paid them, and those things start adding up. And then when they become a senior, what's the most highest you've seen, Coach Batson?
About $800.
$800 before a kid can graduate. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So staying on kids, staying on parents now. They may say, oh, y'all money hungry. No, we're not being money hungry. We just trying to get back what's ours, but we trying to save you something in the long run. Because when they get to senior year, they ain't gonna be able to do nothing until that's paid off. And then you want us to well, I think no, that's not gonna happen. So just try to stay on them to really, and like I say, if you're the head coach or assistant coach, you should have all your roster on there who's been cleared. If they're on your roster, that means they have paid, they've got everything in place. Okay, and you can take your attendance off of that. Yes. So this is something that really is good for middle school, for sure. Is that when you're taking attendance, especially since you're not working here, you may not know what's going on from here to there. Is taking that attendance will allow accountability for our kids. Because I remember one time we had a situation where mama come up accusing me of keeping her daughter out till 11 o'clock at night at track practice. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't know who your daughter is. I don't even coach girls. I'm a boys coach. But the girl told her mama that she was in track and that we were having meets and practice late at night, and she was going somewhere else and then coming home late. So it's just accountability, because once you take that attendance, you have a way of then sending that email to that parent, and they'll be aware of, guess what, so-and-so didn't show up for practice. Or when you get to a game and they wondering why so-and-so ain't playing a lot, you can say, well, you know what, so-and-so ain't been to practice like 4 or 5 times, you know. You don't practice, you don't play. You know, so it's just, you know, statistics, it shows that's what we need to do. So we have the community health office inside our elementary will do physicals for free on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And even sometimes, if you have free time, you can call John Pettis and walk him down there to somebody, and he'll get a physical for a kid. But there's no excuse for any kid not to have a physical. They don't even got to bring the form. They have the forms down there for them. They just walk in the office.
They got the forms.
They got the forms and everything.
I send the form in a PDF to our parents through the band app. So they can download and try to make it seamless. But
What's the time?
I'll let them know.
Pretty much all day.
During the summer, even like.
Even the summer, yeah. Even the summer they have.
Now they do have to have the parent's signature.
Yes,
first.
correct. So the parent has to come. They have to have the signature of the parent. But other than that, everything's there in the office. So it's as seamless as we can think of. I don't know anything else we need to do.
And they'll take up when they do it. If they do it their way through them, they will give it to Ms. Rose, Ms. April.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They keep them. Yes.
And they give a copy to the parent so they can have a copy.
Perfect.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to make this easy for y'all. You know, I'm like,
That's man.
yeah. Tell your mama, be here for Tuesday, be here for Thursday.
We put it out there for them, but as far as them keeping the physical form, because one of the ways they act like, Coach, do I bring it right back to you? I'm like, yeah, give it to me, because I'm going to take it home. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So he asked me that today, so that's perfect. They keep them, okay.
Yes.
I think the times are 9 to 12.
9 to 12?
1 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all probably have lunch. Okay.
Yeah, that lunch. Yeah, I put that on there. Because 12 to 1 they go to lunch.
Yeah. So, all right. Game schedules will go through Ms. Bro. Any schedule permits, additional games can be added from submission. So, we're part of the GMAT conference, and we try to schedule with them first. And if there's any additional space, they take care of it. And we usually have our schedules planned out for 2 years in advance, so that it's just a rotation every year, and then we change it over after that second year. So, just kind of an idea. All right, this is our Squirtle. This is where all of our footage is. Matter of fact, for those of you who are not here today, this is where you need to go to be able to get this footage from this training. And then you have to also write a 2-page report, and you have a questionnaire that you're going to have to fill out. So, have fun. All right, let's take a little break, and then we'll come back. And if you need some bottled water, I got bottled water and some Gatorade in my office if you like it. And then we're going to come back and kind of wrap it up.
About 30 more minutes. We're going to wrap up.
No,
Less than that.
No, get more than that.
More people work.
Got you, but I got you. Just a little bit longer.
It's like, how do you feel so good?
Today's your birthday?
Oh man, happy birthday.
How long enough to start the car? How long enough to start the car?
Okay, yeah. We'll catch up. I knew you had things I was running around.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think my man's car, man, driving this Bourbon, man. Hey, this Bourbon is nice, man. Hey, we
Come back home to about
man, this would be nice.
about the park. Every place I called, like, oh, we got finally called back, so he has just got something new. And put one to the side for like
Next time you going back, I think I'm back over there again. Time for wait, but yeah, I know I got family.
Put the park. Literally putting pedals on. Like,
my mom works at Hard Rock Cafe.
Okay.
finally got the pedals on. It's been running 15 minutes. All right, like, take it back an hour.
We got in, barbecue.
Stop here for an hour. That's come out looking.
Cool, man.
I could have had somebody come do it yesterday. They were charged when you watch the
Time back. Damn.
That's how that's just that's like diagnostic. And it'd be the same way sometimes.
And I told them, this is hand time. This ain't lazy. Almost 5 left. But they really enjoy it.
You're trying to put these folks written on you never house built in 80s.
Stuff like that. I just gotta.
So, Cole?
I can't do it. Yeah, we're out there.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I'm good.
We can come and treat you right now.
No.
You tell me, man.
I'm not going to take too much from it.
Holy cow. And when it comes to these we got
Jonesboro.
I used to live in Jonesboro.
Okay.
My last residence was
Cool, yeah. I have friends in Jonesboro. And,
Yeah, and then
family in college.
see, I got
Well, first time I went,
They said it is a little bit hard, it's not bad, because it's getting started. That's been my downfall, I don't worry about that. I'm comfortable here, but I'm in a place in my life.
you know what I mean now? You know what I mean?
How y'all do though? How y'all do?
It was motivational shit. Friend of mine said, hey man, you wanna roll? And I said, oh yeah, I'm fucking up some stuff. He said, just around the corner. They got 45 minutes. Oh, they ain't around the corner, man. They around the corner, man. They got 8 lanes. You still got traffic.
Yeah, you bring back trumpet.
I'm like, nobody got a job. I mean, you know, everybody got a job. Everybody don't know. Yeah. Hey, you better not go in there saying, let it happen. Oh, man.
I know what I want to do. Start the videos and stuff. Ain't down there. That's my biggest thing. I do want to have some gym. My main thing is right now. I want to have a gym to running back and hard kids. So that's why I'm trying. that's what I get with new kids. I get with new kids, like training hours, and y'all can train. But that's why I haven't done basketball, because they ask me all day, because they see you posting them, kids all day, right? And they come to me, I see you posting all day. I'm like, come train with me. Half the time it is free. Y'all just walk in here and every time it's free. Just come in here. I probably seen 2 kids in this whole 9, 6, 9. So it's just like, y'all not gonna, if you want to play a sport, I did that on my own. My mama didn't put the ball in my hand. My mama didn't rebound. My mama didn't do none of that stuff. So you gotta be on your own. Every time they call it, they want me to come get the gym. I am 27 with a lot of more stuff going on. I want to come and be a mother to me, like, and I am still trying to find out what it is about what I got going on. Like, I don't even have a mom. I'm still, so it's just stuff, you know, grief and teaching them that, man, it's just like, some of them get it, some of them don't. The ones who don't, they get it. Yeah, and then I'm teaching the ones who do get it to have a mouth and you know what I like and you don't know what I like. You know what I like and I don't like. And so if you know I don't like those kids who know, go ahead and let them other kids know what's going on. Like, get in there. Like, it's just stuff like that. But I was on that time in high school.
You don't like this, you don't do this.
Anywhere. Your teacher. If you have a teacher, GP time, don't come here talking. Come here and sit down. Like, it's just stuff like that.
How many of y'all got little brothers and sisters? They got little like how many next year? I raised and I said that you tell them they're gonna hate it. Yeah. And then I said you tell them to say thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Look. In advance.
Ooh, look here.
Exactly. Like, nah.
Get out.
Yeah, they think you young, so they think you they gonna touch you more. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's what they gonna do.
My parents. I love you so. I care so much for you. I gotta see you
Coach Hay. The kids are really
Okay, I'm gonna see Miss Akins, I called her.
It's been up and down, but
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. You know, some folk got some jobs.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do
we're gonna
need
touch
to
a
work.
lot. That's the main part.
All right, so
So
now,
world, even though we can't go back to high school.
So now, I want to talk about the mental health and the wellness for student athletes.
So you talked earlier about like, will we be selling like apparel in the store or like we put together and stuff like that for our fundraisers?
Yeah, you can put together stuff for your fundraisers, yeah. I can't sell Nike in the store because more likely it's gonna cost a lot.
Yeah.
So we
People lose like schools that already have.
Well, but what I'm saying is that it would have to be something where you did online where they could purchase it on. I wouldn't buy a bunch of Nike stuff and then let it set in my store and hope somebody would. Yeah. All right, so mental health and wellness for students. It's intended for the substitute to be relied upon medical advice, So I'm not a doctor, but I'm just giving my disclaimer, okay? So y'all know. So, pre-diagnostic assessment and a self-reflection. Did y'all get that sheet?
Yes.
All right. You all can fill that out for me, please.
Depends.
He's yours to keep. I'm not gonna take it up if you want me to. Oh, and today is Coach Jones' birthday. I just want to let y'all know. Happy birthday. He's 47 today. All right. So, huh? Oh, you taking a year off? Oh, 48. 48.
He said he's just a little bit wiser than 47.
I need all my
He said
pens
he's
back,
just a little bit wiser than 47.
You guys need a pen?
I think I got down to Michael Brooks somewhere. Yes, okay. You got another pen or something? Can I have that one? Yeah, but I want to keep that one when I leave.
I know. I asked. I want all my pens back.
No, this was his.
Okay. I want all my pens back.
Okay.
Yeah, attitude. Attitude.
I'll hold it back here just in case.
Life matters. For real. You know? And everybody that's involved with it has something that they're maybe dealing with. You know? And so even to the point where this man just saved a goal for the team, now he ends up committing suicide. There's a lot that's going on. And we need to be aware of our students, of ourselves, our peers. You know, ask a kid, okay, yeah, you know, I'm good. The body language speaks different. You know? And every kid in this school connects with one person on this campus. No matter if it's a coach or a teacher, but they connect with that one person. And whatever kids connect with you, you have to use that influence to the best you can to encourage them. You know the ones in your classroom and they always come by, hey Coach Jones, how you doing? What you up to? The ones that's always standing by you when you're coaching. One's always, you know, first one there, want to help you out, want to see what's going on. It's more to the story than what you see. And we need to be aware of those things, as well as in ourselves. You know, you look at the boy who's sleeping, thinking he's a behavior kid, sharing a home with 5 of the boys. Kid's grade, GPA starting to drop. Drugs, abuse, girls scarring herself up, girls throwing up to keep a flat stomach. Want to know who their dad is. Saw their parent get arrested. Does that sound familiar? To even now having a kid who's having to go to court because his mother has filed a VPO against him. That's our stories. That's our kids. Not knowing where they're going to sleep at tomorrow night or tonight. Trying to fit in just so somebody will like them. We're dealing with some things. Athletes wear many hats. Son, sibling, friend, student, teammate, club member, community member. And the expectations for all those roles combined can be unbearable. How has athletics changed? You play for multiple coaches. Impact of laying on traveling and elite teams. You often tie their self-esteem to the position on the team. Social media youth are no longer protected from the outward criticism. You know, I don't know if y'all remember the morning edition. Newspaper, you'd be able to get the newspaper and find out what's going on and hopefully hide the newspaper. Or when they used to send home notes. Y'all know y'all were bad when y'all were growing up. And y'all intercept that note for your mom and daddy got it. Social media, man, it was about that thing, huh? But now social media has it where within seconds, a person's life can be changed. This is what our kids are experiencing. You're on an elite team, oh, but you ain't getting no playing time. You always on the bench. There's some kids don't even want to play sports because they're afraid of what their peers are going to say about it. You know, my son, he sits in the backyard and shoots hoops for hours. A couple of years ago, he was a freshman, and Jeffries asked him if he wanted to play on the JV team because they needed some people. He said no. I said, why would you say no? But he'll sit up in the stands. Oh, he trash. Oh, he trash. So the stuff he says, he's going to assume that's what they're going to say about him. So instead of having the opportunity to play up, he'd rather just say no. Those are the things. High schools are providing entertainment to the communities. Perception that young athletes are capable of the mental and physical demands of their sports. Multi-sport athletes is the era of specialization. College scholarships, the holy grail. Outside coaching. Kids got speed coach. They got a swing coach. They got a shot doctor. I mean, those are the things. Because I'm telling you, how often does a parent tell you, you don't know what you're talking about because I got a specialist that's working with my child, and my child doing all this. So why is it you can't work with my child like, you know? This is the I generation. Born before 1995. You born 1995? Okay, all right, you're not the I generation.
I was born in 97.
You born in 97? You grew up with cell phones, iPhones, and iPads. I mean, you know, Instagram.
It was the start of it.
It was the start of it, all right. Innovators, all right. Individualism. Equality, obsessed with safety and fearful of their economic future. Grow up slower than most in front of the worst crisis decades. That's the I generation. Came of school age during the 2008 Great Recession. Newtown school shooting, polarized elections, Parkland school shootings, pandemic, and racial and social injustice. You ever heard somebody say, well, they ain't made like they used to be? Of course they're not. Look at what they mentally are having to deal with. I mean, you can probably go back in your life and know something embarrassing that you don't want nobody to know. But if somebody had a recorder and videotape it, you've seen teachers' lives be changed because somebody recorded them saying something or doing something, and all of a sudden they out of a job. As teachers and coaches, you're guilty before you're innocent.
I know that.
You're guilty before you're innocent. So, you know, it's a struggle for these kids. They don't, that's what they've been exposed to. And social media tells them more of what they think is the truth than us. Social media is the gospel. It's the Bible. That's the book for them. That's where they are. So it's a way of us understanding what we're dealing with. You know, and to tell a kid you gotta tough it up. It's mentally. These are some things that's mentally going on. 22% of youth ages 13 to 18 in the U.S. have mentally health disorder with severe impact. 50% of all lifetime mental health disorders begin at the age of 14. 75% by the age of 24. Almost half of the youth ages 8 to 15 who need mental health services don't receive them. And fewer than 10% of children receiving mental health services got them for more than just 3 months. 10%. 43% of our youth receiving mental health services were identified as having a co-occurring substance use disorder. 70% of youth entering treatment of substance use disorder were identified as having a concurrent mental health diagnosis. 14% of our high school students have seriously considered suicide. 6% report attempting it in one or more times last year. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among youth from the ages of 15 to 24. A child mentally does not stop growing until the age of 24. So even when we think 18, they've graduated, they're still maturing. They're still immature kids. This is the struggle. This is what we're dealing with. So here are some things here. You look at this. So we had a kid last year who came into my office and told me that he was quitting football. And he did not want to go to play college football. He had just came off of a recruiting trip. Matter of fact, I saw him there. We talked. I talked to a few of other players, and he said, "Coach, I don't do it no more." Why you don't do it no more? It's my fun. Parents on me. Other things. I just want to go ride my horse. So I asked you a question about what is something that we may not know about you. And so what I do, there's two things that I do to depress or relax. I do woodworking or I go play golf. I do that because that gives me a chance to relax. Shut my mind down. One of the things that I I'm year round now, so I'm here all the time. I used to love my summers off. Love it. Get away, turn it off. But even when I'm on my vacation and I get a phone call from the school, my mind turns right back on. There's times I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning thinking about stuff that need to be done. We mentally have so much on our plates, and then we walk in and we try to deal with kids that are dealing with this. Are we any good to them or any good to us? We have to be able to look at all the things that they're dealing with. How many kids do you know smoke more weed more because they're just trying to get away? It ain't got nothing to do about the taste. It's just for a little bit. They feel that they can just get away from their problems. You know, and we're in a generation where it's not about opening up a map and finding out a place where you need to go. It's Google. It's Google. It's no longer learning how to troubleshoot something. I'm a YouTuber. I'm going to find out how to fix it on YouTube. Growing up, you've been in situations and you'd have to try to figure it out. My son the other night, he went to the Kendrick whatever concert last night. And so I texted him Saturday and said, "Hey man, I got your tickets to the concert." I said, "But you got to cut that grass cut before you leave. This is Saturday. Concert went until last night." So Monday night, about 8 o'clock, I walked in the house. I said, "I guess you ain't going to that concert." He looked at me like, "What? The grass didn't get cut." Got a choice. What you gonna do? He goes out there in the dark, starts cutting the grass. Kicking up dirt and it's dark. He paused and come, "Dad." "Yes?" "What am I supposed to do?" I said, "You figure it out. Concert, no concert. Those are your two options." So he got out there in that dirt and the dark and he cut that grass. Because he wanted to go to that concert. You know, it's sometimes you can push kids like that, sometimes you can't. But learning to know who they are, that's why you guys' relationships are so important. I didn't realize till my third year here at Millwood that as a coach I had more influence than our teachers in our building. Teachers would send kids to my class that they would have problems with because they could not manage them in their classroom. So can we change it? I hope and pray we can, but can we at least try to make it better for our kids? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why it's important about increasing our numbers. That's why it's important about recruiting our kids. I mean, literally walking through the hallways and kid, "Hey, I want you to play football." You know, "Oh, coach, I don't know." I said, "Look, play football. I got you. I'll pay you. I'll get you a brand new set of cleats. I'll make sure I'll take care of your gear. That's a promise you can make to a kid to get them involved, then I'll back you up. I will back you up. And trust me, I'll find somebody to pay for it. I always have people want to say, hey, you got a kid who needs something? You got a kid that may can't afford something? Just let me know. How often do you get a chance to go into the cafeteria and sit down and eat with your kids? And really get to know them. You know, coming to their games outside of the sport you coach means a lot to them kids. When you in them stands, you clapping, Jimmy Early. I was like, all right, I see you, Jimmy. The kid sees that too. That makes an impact in their lives. And y'all don't realize that. They sometimes will literally walk based off of how you tell them to walk. That's the influence that we have to try to change these numbers that we're dealing with. So that's my purpose for improving our numbers. Getting our kids more engaged, helping to improve our academic numbers, helping to improve our attendance. Those are the things that really matter for our kids. Making our programs fun. That's what it's about. All right, we're going to skip that second activity, but I want you to do it at home. But if you look at that activity, I want you to look through it. And it just basically talks about some of the physical, and we're just going to kind of work through it ourselves. I think, the one that gives physical changes, emotional changes. So let's just talk. What are some physical changes that you see happening to our kids? What are some physical changes that you can see that they're dealing with?
Going through puberty.
Going through puberty? Okay, all right. So what else? What are some other things that you physically see them dealing with that you can tell some changes, you know? Their upkeep. Exactly. Whether or not they're taking care of their body odor, whether or not their clothes are changing, painting their fingernails, various things like that. And for those of you who don't know, the dress code for the high school has changed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So kids can wear uniforms or not wear uniforms, but now they can wear hoodies and sweats. And so to me, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I want the kids to kind of have some type of freedom to express, but also to start developing to mature them to that next level. So that's we're gonna see some of that. So those are some things physical. What about some things that you see socially, emotional changes?
Grades slipping.
Grades slipping. Okay. All right. Temper. Okay. Dissing themselves. Peer pressure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They start seeing. You see those changes in them. What about the cognitive changes? Okay. All right. Here's the amazing thing about it. We can see it more on a court, on a football field, on a softball field, than we can in the classroom.
So like you said, when you said cognitive changes, like I know where some of our players have grown mature, when they mature and they've grown. Oh, he didn't do that last year. He's grown. He's been able to pick up, like you're saying, if we get to know them off the field a little bit more, we'll be able to see them things outside of just sports. That's what you.
Yeah. How often do you walk into a basketball game and you don't coach basketball and they come up, hey coach, how you doing? And they come up to you. They're excited to see you. Knowing they just saw you earlier that day. But act like they ain't seen you in a while. That's a sign. That's letting know. I had these two young ladies that I coached. And they just loved each other more than they ever really imagined. I mean, and we in the winter championship that year. But we had a freshman basketball game, and them two started fighting with each other. Fought with each other. Two teammates. Yes.
Like an argument or put that?
No. It was no argument. It was a knockdown fight.
We rolled down the stadium.
Yes.
Yes. On the bench.
While the game is still going on now, mind you.
All three principals attended upstairs.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's even talk about, our basketball boys team last year. I mean, they went through each one of those stages. And for some reason, having a counselor is a sign of weakness. It's not. It's a sign of, hey, I need some help. And the comments that we make and how sometimes we try to be tough core and all that really doesn't help our kids, but it pushes them back further and say, well, if my coach thinks that's sissy to do that, then I can't do it. So we have to be cognitive of what's going on with our kids so that we know how to be able to handle it. And even if it's to a point where we can't, reach out to us where we can find somebody that can. We now community health, have DHS coming in. The DHS will have a person here on staff. So if we have a family that's maybe transitioning and they need help transitioning their services, food stamps, and whatever else, we will have a representative here in this school to help assist our families. We want to try to make everything excuse possible to move it for our kids. Our kids don't deserve it, so we want to help. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop in a minute. Co-occurring disorders. Diagnosis of one or more mental health challenges. More than 10.2 million Americans meet the criteria for clinical diagnosis for COD. Protective factors. Self-esteem, spirituality, parent-guardian support, school attendance, positive and rewarding activities. So let me ask you this question. Have we got to the survey where it says if we have a situation of a mental person, do we know who to call in our school? Who'd you put down?
School counselor.
School counselor.
Nurse.
Wrong. Community works. Principal. So now, in the past, it's always been the school counselor. So let me correct that. But our school counselors are not certified to deal with mental health. Community works is maybe one building or may not be here. That's why we're trying to provide more services so that we can have more people here. And here's the thing. You made community works. Did you know that we had community works here?
No.
Exactly. And just at Mila. So,
They go to middle school.
okay. All right.
They transition. They be, they'll come over.
They used to come during our lunch break.
Yeah, they come through our lunch break.
So now, those are services that we have. And it's like, I wish I knew all the answers, but I don't. But I know that there's somebody here that we want on staff to help get that through there. And like I said, Ben, I praise you guys for doing what you do all year long with the same kids. I just commend you for that. That is a challenge or struggle. And I just it takes a special kind of person to do those type of things, because the performances that you guys produce are amazing. And so to have to wrestle with some of the things that you guys do, I mean, it is what it is. But I've also had parents. A parent came up to me and told me that the band saved her granddaughter's life. She sat there and she cried. She says, my granddaughter, this was the best thing that I ever could have done was bring her here. And she's in that band. And she now has purpose. Why? Because this child is wondering why her mama dropped her off at her grandmother's doorsteps and has never ever wanted to talk to her again. So this child feels guilty that she's the reason why her mother hates her. So telling me that we don't make a change, or we make a change. We make a change. All right, so what's important to you? What are important to you at the moment? What do you have a good day? What are things that make good? Are there particular struggles and challenges? What are your strengths? How do you use those strengths to face challenges? So, as a coach, we have to be in the right frame of mind before we go deal with kids. Because if we're not in the right frame of mind, anything that they say to us, we're going to take it off. And next thing you know, we put them out the gym. You know, we kicking them off the field. So our frame of mind is important. Your mental status is significant. And you have to be able to deal with that. And here's some resources. You have us as a coaching staff, as your AD, superintendent. We're a family. This is a family. If you haven't figured it out by now, we're a family. And we're all here to help one another. And we understand that things occur. And we want to be able to make sure that we can help you as well. Because things can get out of hand quick before we even know it. And then later on we say something we didn't want to say, and then guess what? It's already said. And for us as coaches, we can't take back nothing we say. Just being honest. A parent gonna replay it 17 times. That child gonna play it 565 times. Right, exactly. And hit social media. So it's imperative that we support one another. That's another reason why it's good to support each one of our activities, because that's cool to see the coaches come and check it out. What's going on in football, what's going on in basketball, softball, volleyball. I think last year Chevis went in the middle school gym doing a volleyball game and turned it up, and I thought we were going to have a fight at the end. They were so hyped because, but he impacted the girls on the court just by his cheering in the bleachers. So your presence is important, but your mental presence is even more valuable. All right. So you got to put on your spidey senses, okay? Start recognizing different things that may occur. Tell the students absolutely what to feel. Don't judge, Know your limitations. Know what you can and can't do. Buddy system where students, athletes are paired. If you know of a situation where you see a kid that and you maybe can't talk to them, get with another kid on the team, maybe see if they can kind of maybe chat, just to kind of see what's going on. Keep your eyes open. It's a village concept. We're raising these kids around here. Identify sports often embedded in student athletes' identity. Let's try to make sure that we teach our kids that your identity is not based off this sport. It's not going to make you or break you. Doesn't matter. You ain't got to be the first chair all the time. It doesn't matter if we don't win every game. It's okay. I have a Bible saying that says, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And when the kids transition and they caught up all into this, their identity and everything, they just like, man, I'm I go play golf, and so I don't practice. I don't practice at all. Hardly there. I just go play. And so I play with some guys, and one, he practiced probably 2 or 3 times a week, and he's built him like a little golf putting deal in his backyard. Oh, he's serious about it. He's serious about it. So when I slice a ball, I just go find my ball and hit it from wherever he goes. He sliced the ball. Hey! He just, dude, are you getting paid? I mean, really? I said, I thought you worked at the hospital. Then why you act like this is where your livelihood? I mean, you know, it's just a game. And at the end of the day, it's just a game. And we have to kind of keep our kids at calm to let them know it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. You didn't get it? All right. Make the correction and do it next time. It's okay. If not, oh well. We'll get through this. You know, it's like one of the things I saw some years back was when we were playing in the state championship game basketball against Kingston. And they had that boy, he was 6'9", 7 foot. I mean, that boy was a beast. And they had been together 4 years. They were gelling. You know, I told Mike, go in there and just have fun. Then, you know, because we're going to, I'm fine if you don't. I'm just thankful that we're here, you know. Well, at halftime, we were beat down by like 20-something points. Half our fans left. So now, here you are, a kid on the bench, and you look up, you know, half your people done left. That's probably the only thing that hurts my soul, is that people expect, just like last year going 4-6. Social media tried to fire Coach Franklin, and me too. That was my fault. Because we had a 4-6 season. You have some schools just be glad they don't won 4 games in the season.
Northeast didn't win a single football game the whole time I was there.
And we will play some teams, guys. If y'all look, we'll play some teams and we'll be blowing them out. And every time they make a point, they cheer loud. They support their kids. If they get a first down.
Yeah.
Any little milestone our kids make, we need to get to that point.
I've seen that. I mean, I've seen that in cross country. I have never seen so many parents just go out and watch their kid run at 9 o'clock. It can be 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and it's packed as if it's a basketball game. It just opened my eyes to real. That's real support.
Yeah,
that's
real.
Nobody want to come out here and see nobody running. You can't even see them run. You just watch them.
They disappear, and then you just hope they come back out in first and second. Yeah, exactly. When I was coaching basketball girls, we went 4 straight years in a row where we went to the state title game. Well, we got in, and I think it was a semifinals game with the Southern Nazarene. I think Dalen Threet was a senior that year. We just won that game. And everybody, we just like high-fiving, getting ready to go to the state championship game. Good game. All right, grab your stuff. Let's roll. Wait, hold a minute. We just made it to the state championship game again. We not excited about it? It's like we didn't take the moment. I was like, man, you guys did it again. This is amazing. I mean, you know, so it's like our community expects certain things from us that I don't want us to get into expecting as well. You know, we've had a lot of great traditions, a lot of great coaches that have come through here, and I thank them, and we're standing on their foundation. But we don't have to live to their foundations or their expectations. We have to create our own. Does that make sense? Earl Franklin was a great basketball coach, but Mike Jeffries is the head basketball coach. Coach Spears was a great basketball coach. Appreciate it. But David Albert is the coach. Mr. What was the band director? Mr. Scott. Excellent one. Name on the wall and everything. But it's DeVarro Wilson's program. Let him make his legacy. let's support all of us to make our legacy, make our place here, you know, and let's promote and congratulate everything our kids do. Take that time. Let's not just, oh, well, that's all right. We don't win district 55 times in a row. That's all right. Congratulations. We're great. All right. Let's celebrate tonight. All right. Then tomorrow we're going to get back at it. But you did a good job. Proud of things you worked on. Let's promote and support our kids as much as possible. All right. Any? All right. These are just some identities. Like I say, I want us to make sure that we help keep our parents involved. As far as athletes, I've given you the rest of those. You can read those. But in a nutshell, we just need to make sure that we help our kids have fun. Help them have fun. Help them enjoy what they do. Make your programs enticing. Hanging up sign-up sheets ain't gonna work anymore. You gotta go into the classrooms. You gotta literally be sitting in the bleachers and talking with kids, encouraging, up in your program, saying, hey, you get done with this. This is the next thing you need to do. I think you'd be great at this. This will help you with this. Because multiple sports or multiple activities not only help you physically, but they help you mentally. Help our kids understand how to troubleshoot, how to figure things out, how to be able to not allow something to change them into a different person. But we have that opportunity. Now, we're fighting against our parents. They're thinking they know it, but that's okay. It's okay. We still for the kids. That's who we work for. That's who we want to help. So, any last questions, comments?
No, we just got what I've realized since I've been here, is that we gotta realize that sometimes being on this camp, this is the only time a kid gets to be a kid. For a lot of the kids, because I remember my first year when I did ISS over in middle school, they were talking all day, but then they'd be sitting there telling me, yeah, when I get home, I gotta cook for my brothers. I gotta help them. Why you do your homework? Well, I have to help my other brothers and sisters do their homework. When I was done with that coach, it was 9:30, 10 o'clock. And this is 7 days. So we having to realize that these kids look up to us. Like you said, they look up to us. You can change it. Like you said, like they just seen us coach. Coach, you came to the game, man. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And that kid might not even play. And what we also got to realize too, a lot of kids play sports because their friend plays sports. Mm-hmm. And they might just play it because this may be their safe zone. They don't want to go home. They can be a kid here. They can be 14, 15 years old. Because there's a lot of stuff that we don't know what these kids going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take kids home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not because necessarily I want to, gas $8 a gallon, but somebody did that for me. And the kid took the time. I don't care how they got here. They took the time to come and get the practice. We do middle school. Like, we got middle school football, summer pride training, and we are averaging 22 kids in middle school. You know what I'm saying?
I was only having 7.
Yeah, he told me.
I was just telling him that so long
He just
ago.
told
Like, when Ricky and them was in
So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of like I like it here. Like the parents sometimes they get on our nerves. I know, but a lot of them are trying. You know what I'm saying? And I see that especially in middle school. Get these kids, 22 kids here, Monday through Thursday, and they ask, Coach, I didn't used to take gas money. No, I take it. I ain't.
Because $8 a gallon.
I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like we do mean a lot to these kids. I know I'm going to do a better job of trying to come to everything. I haven't been to a volleyball game since I've been. And that's a little bit hard sometimes with football and stuff like that. But just, you know, just being there, and I know it's a drag, but recruiting them hallways,
You know, and the school though gives us another opportunity where if you can't make that game, just pull it up online, watch a little bit of that game, just check it out, you know, and just see it. And then that way, when it turns around, you can back let, man, I saw you in that game. You know, Coach Franklin, when I was really by myself, running everything on a Friday night, and the whole game, I wouldn't get to see none of the game. But I would always get popped up to huddle. And so that night I would go home and click on and I'd watch that game. And then that next day I would go to because I used to always eat in the cafeteria a lot, you know, and I'd go sit in the cafeteria. Man, I saw you ever look like you was working. You know, I mean, even though I'm not coaching the kids, I'm still encouraging them, you know, of, hey, this is what I saw. You know, Coach Franklin, all right, what'd you see on the tape? Well, man, I don't know what y'all were doing. Y'all could have been doing something. I don't know what defense y'all was running or whatever. You know, I just want the kids to know that we care. That it's just not about our sport. It's about more than our sport. Pushing them to do well, better, and excel, and help them to be a better person. You know, I mean, it's and working together as a team, because we don't have 1,000 kids in our high school. We got 300. And so I remember, I think he was the tackle, was also the drum major in the band. So at halftime, he got up on the ladder and said, bam, let me get this done. I mean, you know, and coach didn't say nothing about it. I mean, you know, make sure, okay, cool. We would go through certain things and then we'd make sure we'd give him what he needed to when he got in there. We worked together. I mean, that's just a small school concept. I mean, so we didn't try to make you specialize. We tried to work to where our kids can just enjoy things, because I coached Josh Turner and Tremaine Swindle and Gerald Jones. Gerald and them three told me all, I'm a basketball player. That's all I'm going to do is be a basketball player. Tremaine went to University of Texas Tech on a football scholarship. Turner went to Texas on a scholarship, and Gerald went to Tennessee. All of them, but they call themselves specializing. But then when they got exposed, they realized there was so much more. Because when I was coaching middle school, I coached middle school basketball, football, and track. And I said, if you're gonna play for me, you gotta play all 3 sports. And that way, I know you doing something. Because Josh wasn't gonna play no football. The boy couldn't even catch a shoe. He couldn't catch a cold. But then he became one of the top #1 rating in his class his senior year. But introducing him to something, you know, introducing them to an instrument, exposing our kids to different things. There's so much we can do. So, guys, hey, I appreciate everybody coming. Thank you all. Got y'all by 3. I hope that wasn't too late for you.
Refreshments?
To pick up the hospital.